Hello, you beautiful legend, and welcome to the future episode of Blunt Force Healing Podcast. We are filming episode number 519, but it's Sunday. So, oh yeah, it's actually birch polypore. Very old one, not very useful. Probably need to start again. Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast episode 519. It's quite windy, so let me just show you the waterfall, and I'll record the rest when we are far from wind. It's a bit less windy now, so let me finish the rest of the episode. As you can see, it's still a bit gloomy because we are approaching the sunset, so it's getting darker and darker, but we still have about 20 minutes before the actual sunset time, and then obviously we have about 20 to 30 minutes of a fair daylight, enough to see something and get back to the car. So we should be just about in the car park when it gets dark. We pushed it quite far because we went as far as that waterfall was visible. We didn't get to waterfall or to the end of that trail because it's quite long, so we only pushed it about 6.5 to 7 kilometers one way, so we should have approximately 12 to 13 kilometers total today in Glenveigh Valley, which is a lovely place. I highly recommend it if you ever come to Ireland, or you are actually in Ireland but you might have not known or not decided yet to visit Glenveigh National Park. Then it's definitely a place to come. But we are just leaving the overgrown terrain, so it's getting very windy. So let me stop again and I'll finish that up in a second. Okay, I'm back. Julian and Elizabeth are behind me, and we are in the castle grounds, so it's quite quiet. It's already past the closing time. They were closing at 5 p.m. so you can see everything is closed. The gardens, and you can see these are like the tea rooms. They are closed obviously at the moment. It's a nice place to have a coffee. There are toilets, and here are the gates. You can obviously open them and still visit the grounds. Alright, so I didn't want to record as I was passing by the other tourists that were still here. Here is the rest of the gardens. You can walk many paths in here. It's quite cool, to be honest, especially when there is no people or yeah, and especially here's Julian. Especially in spring and summertime, all of that is blooming and it's green.
From the Indian statues.
Yeah, those Indian statues are lovely.
Indian. I always liked the ones with the teeth.
Yeah,
They're
amazing.
So cool.
Very cool.
Mama.
So a lot of exotic trees are here because of previous owners. Original owners were bringing a lot of interesting plants to these gardens. I'll try to record it at some stage in the spring or winter time. Spring or summertime, because once it all is blooming, then it really looks much cooler than now. There are some small kind of, I don't know how to call it. How do you call it, Julian?
What?
These things like a small sheds or whatever, hideout. Yeah, like a shacks, so you can actually sit down and relax while looking at the gardens. Well, obviously there's nothing to look at the moment. A lot of weird flies as well.
Deer.
And the deer.
Oh, thank you, but
Amazing stuff. So yeah, very cool place. We visit that quite often, I would say. Last year we were here probably 3 or 4 times. Maybe. Yeah, Julian has a toxic waste. New toxic waste. Yellow type.
There's watermelon, lemon, blueberry, I think, and some kind of other berry.
Yeah, there are sweets that are ultra sour, so we might test them out
Seriously, they're ultra sour.
and add it to some episode. I don't know if this one or another. We'll see. Look at this. This is all frog spawn. It's amazing. It's a standing still water on the side of the trail, and frogs obviously decided to drop their load here, and we already saw a couple of places yesterday and I think the day before in the areas where it's very swampy and the water is close to the other places, like other bodies of water where frogs are already laying their eggs. So it's definitely a sign of springtime coming soon. And lovely sunset. It's exactly 17:47, so 5:47 p.m. We are about 5 minutes past the sunset time. The colors are showing, and I must admit that it was quite a lovely walk, lovely hike. We already have 12 kilometers on the clock, so it seems like we will have probably more than 13 kilometers. Quite impressive. Very happy about it. Julian says that his legs are sore, and I admit that mine are start feeling a bit tired in the calves and in quads. My wife says that she doesn't feel anything in legs, but we need to account for her exercising legs regularly, so she's definitely more prepared to take on that load. And here you can see barely on the horizon there is Mukish mountain. Technically not a mountain because it's just over 500 meters, I think. I need to check that up. Maybe it is actually a mountain. I don't know.
Look up there.
Yeah, it's a lovely view. So even though we are after sunset, it's already getting slightly darker. Still nice. Hope you can see Mukish there in the clouds. It looks like a massive mountain, but it is Do you remember, Julian, how high the...
600 and something.
Oh, so it is a mountain.
Yeah, 600 and something.
All right, that's nice. So Mukishi is over 600.
It's like 624 or something.
624. Makes sense. Yeah, it's slightly lower than Erigal, obviously, about 100 meters, but it's nice.
There for like 738 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Definitely over 700 is Erigal. Yeah, so this is the closing segment. We are getting back to the car. We already have over 12 kilometers, so we'll be coming back home in roughly hour and a half. We should be back in Donegal town. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching and reading the blog if you read it.
This is satisfying.
Yeah, we'll see how Monday goes. The new week seems to be busy ahead.
I want to see how Gran Canaria goes.
Oh yeah, and we're going to
Gran Canaria.
Gran Canaria, but that's 4th of March. So we'll be updating on it as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Check Julian's channel, youtube.com/@crossandgamer. You can see that in the description. In the meantime, stay tuned and see you tomorrow.